Uja, gonna start in just a moment. I'll go ahead and light the candles anyway. All right, Uja, Uben Nefer, do it for tuning in today on this presentation of Cosmic Adorations, Divine Holy Day. And today is the day to honor the Neteru Ptah and Hershafi. My name is Arit Tachia Amet, and this is a presentation from Asmajishi Temple, Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds, and the Light Being Wellness Center. We've started following the Divine Holy Day, as mentioned in the Sirius Kemetic Sidereal Calendar put out by the Earth Center. And this is the year 422 according to this year's calendar. And why is this year 422? Humanity's original calendar was recovered by Neb Naba Lamusa Morodinibig. This calendar is based on the heliacal rising of the Sirius star. It has been 422 years since the last great heliacal rising. This year of 365 days is the second quarter of the Renpet, the real year, which is 1,461 days, as shown in the chart below. So if you look at the numerical system, you can see the year. So one day we'll take some time to learn the numbers. I'd like to compare them to the Olmec numerical system. I'm familiar with that up to like 10. So in these presentations, if you want to follow along with the notes, the website is tachia.com. I think I can type it in here, /tachia.com/Ptah and Hershafi. Okay. And you'll be able to, follow along if you would like to do so. And for those of you on YouTube, live or in the replay, if the sound is still sounding robotic, please let me know and tune in either on TikTok or Instagram. All right, so I'm going to jump on over to the program. So we're going to start with some wisdom teachings from, go a little bit more into the calendar. So the thing about this calendar is that it has 12 months. Each month is 10 days. Each month has 3 weeks, and each week is 3 days long. And if you know me, I refer to them as strengths. And then the 13th month is only 5 days long, and that is for the goddess Nut. when she gives birth to these 5 children. So we are in the last week, to the last strength of Penanit. And and today we are instructed to honor Ptah. Oh, this is the first week of the first strength of Penanit, Ptah and Hershafi. There's many different ways to spell and pronounce this deity. So this is the decan of called Khat, Khat. Let's read this part here at the top of the page. So this culture is based on Sirius star system. It's located in Mali, and it's the Dogon. It's a Dogon tradition. And then if you follow my work with horoscopes, that's a 13-month solar sidereal calendar. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped following the Egyptian holy days, is because there's so many different versions of that calendar, and it follows a 7-day cycle. And I wanted to follow the 10-day cycle, or at least the 13-month cycle. The god governing the months is Nefertum. And we had Nefertum last strength. That was the last session. Nefertum, or Nefertimu, is a creator god who is also self-created. He symbolizes the creation of the world and is shown coming out of a lotus flower. He is one of the oldest gods from the primordial waters. He has opened the doors of the first Ennead. Nefertimu's characteristics always include looking for a new way of going about life. He is comfortable with diversity. Sacred animals for those born in this month include snake, vulture, catfish, and sacred bull. One is forbidden to consume or kill these animals. All right, so this cycle goes until July 7th. Right. Uja Ubenefer. Oh, we say you comments. Okay. Well, Ambassador, you have the right to your opinion, and you have the right to follow what you choose. So here's some information from various sites around the internet on Ptah. We'll start with Ptah and then Hershafi. This is from Encyclopedia Britannica. Ptah, also spelled Pthaah in Egyptian religion, creator god and maker of things, a patron of craftsmen, especially sculptors. His high priest was called child controller of craftsmen. The Greeks identified Ptah with Hephaestus, or Vulcan, the divine blacksmith. Let me make this a little bit larger. 90-year-old eyes. There we go. All right, so from thecollector.com, we have 9 facts about Ptah. The creator in heaven and earth, the creator in heaven and earth, who has made all things, the Lord of all that is and is not, the Father of the Son God, Lord of truth, Father of the gods, the King of both worlds, the God of light, which shows everything in its true form, the ruler of the sky, the beautiful face, the master of justice, master of ceremonies, Lord of eternity, he who listens to prayers, great with love, Ptah, the one with durable favors, self-existent, creator of all things, the only unbegotten begetter in the heaven and on the earth, the God who made himself to be God, who exists by himself, the double being, the begetter of the first beginning. Unlike most Egyptian creator gods, Ptah himself is uncreated. Having existed before anyone or anything, he willed the world into existence with the power of his mind, like a great conjurer of celestial proportions. Not satisfied there, he uses his speech literally, word, to give life to his creation. In Memphite texts, the present tense is used, indicating the ongoing act of sustaining life. Not only was this ancient Egyptian god depicted as a mummified man with green skin, but he was also the only god to be consistently portrayed with a straight beard, as opposed to a curved one. His unnatural skin tone was typically associated with growth and rebirth among the Egyptian pantheon due to the color of vegetation. In his role as sustainer of life on earth, Ptah was also the god of rebirth. So this reminds me of Asar. All right. And if you want to follow along with the presentation, you can go to tachia.com/Ptah-and-Hershafi. And from, let's see, I didn't know. If you want to look up these these sources, I have the links at the webpage. There's something else on this one I wanted to share. Uja, do for tuning in. Oh yeah, this is the one. The source of the name Egypt. That's the one I wanted to share here. Okay. The ancient Egyptian word used the words Kemet to refer to their own land, but outsiders had other names. The Canaanites, Hebrews, and Arabs, for example, used variations of Misr or Mizram. The English word Egypt comes from the Greek Egyptos, which is believed to derive from the Middle Egyptian Ptah, meaning house of the soul of Ptah. The same name was rendered in the Ptah in late Egyptian and is also the source for the name Kopt. The three hieroglyphs straight across from Ptah's face above, which resemble a mat, a semicircle, and a twisted wick, read Ptah, the Egyptian spelling of Ptah from right to left. All right, so I thought that was interesting, that the word Kemet, which means land of the blacks, and I was told Egypt is just the Greek version of Kemet. However, this source is that Egypt comes from Hetka Ptah, the house of the soul of Ptah. Okay, let's see, was there anything here? I guess that's all from here. Just make sure. All right. And next we have from touregypt.net. Ptah was the pre-dynastic Menefer Hikaptah Memphis, god of craftsmen, pottery, and creation. The Egyptians believed that he was a god who created everything from artifacts to the world egg to the other deities themselves. The opening of the mouth ceremony was believed to have been devised by him. He was a god of creation and rebirth. It was believed that Ptah created the heavens and earth while Khnum fashioned the animals and people on his pottery wheel. Ptah created the giant metal plate that was believed to be the floor of the heavens and the roof of the sky. He also created the struts that upheld it. He created the universe by speaking words through his tongue, linking to the god Jehuti and the goddess Tefnut, and by thoughts coming from his heart, linked to Heru the elder. There came into being as the heart, and there came into being as the tongue, in the form of Atum. Indeed, all the divine order really came into being through what the heart thought and the tongue commanded. Thus, the Ka spirits were made by this speech. Thus were made all work and all crafts, the action of the arms, the movement of the legs, and the activity of every member, in conformance with this command which the heart thought, which came forth through the tongue, and which gives value to everything. This is from Primal Myths by Barbara C. Sproul. All right, so I really, this really resonates with me because I've learned that the heart is actually made of brain cells and even more than the brain itself. And so the heart, we have the mind in our brain, which is where the ego lives. And then we have our heart mind, where our feelings live, and our REU is stored. And then also the uterus and the intestines are made with these neuropeptides as well. All right. Okay, so now we're going to move into the section with wisdom teachings from Seba Ma. So let's start with our opening prayers. Lots to cover. Here we go. I forgot to bring out my instruments. Everything else ready to go. Get the drum. Right. So before reading from the Ptah and Hershafi, we're instructed to give offerings for Asar and Kepra. However, for these presentations, I have a heck out. Uja, Tua for tuning in, and thank you for the myrrh, for the love. You can, if you tap the screen, it lets people know that we're here, so that would be great. And let's check in with YouTube. If there's anyone on YouTube, I see there is someone there. If you could just let me know how the audio is. If it sounds like a robot, just jump on over to Instagram at Tachia Ahmed or TikTok. Okay, so here's the offering for before reading the turn it up. Okay. Before reading from the Ptah and Hershafi. Om Namaja Kapita Sorrow. 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 Namaja Kapita Sorrow. sorrow. Oh, sorrow. Yeah. Yes, I forgot to address some of the comments from an ambassador of Yahweh earlier, who has, a different perspective of life, of the universe. And in the Trinitarian tradition, the gods and goddesses are cosmic forces of nature. We have many different types of forces of life in life. We have the atomic forces, we have electric forces, magnetic forces, we have forces between people who love each other. We have gravity forces, although they say those are just electromagnetic forces. And then we have the forces of creation. We have the force of beauty, which is Goddess Hetadu, the cosmic force of truth and justice, Ma'at, the cosmic force of spiritual victory, Heru. And we have the cosmic force of egoism, which is Set. So in your tradition, you may consider these to be fallen angels. Oops, watch out. And that's in a completely different tradition. That's a tradition that actually comes from this tradition. It was just, altered. Can you get around this way now? Okay, there you go. That's my Anpu. So there's no reason to, be angry about it. There's no reason to be angry at all. All right, so now let's have the offering for Anpu, the opener of the way. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Remove obstacles to my success in my spiritual practice. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Lead souls through the narrow pathways to know the difference between real and unreal. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Message between heaven and hell. Face black as night, golden as a day. Equally watchful by night as by day. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. May Anpu make my thighs firm, so that I may stand upon them. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. I wash myself in the waters where Anpu washed himself, where he was the officer of embalmer and bandager. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. My lips are the lips of Anpu. 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 A tap. Yes, that hekau is very useful when you're having obstacles. I remember one time I was had the good fortune to be in Kemet with the Temple of Shatau Neter with Dr. Ashby. And we were getting ready to board a plane to go, I think we were on our way to Aswan. And Sebrama could not find his passport. And so I just sat down and I started chanting this hekau because it'd been like 20 or 30 minutes. And he found instantly. That's one of my favorite stories for that hekau. It has been recorded and released. You can find it on your favorite music platform. It's taken from the devotional manual, page 30. Yeah. All right. What do we got next? I'm going to keep remembering to check in at YouTube because I've had such problems. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to have the hekau this Hekau, recording of this has been posted at YouTube. It's Om Amun Ra Ptah, and it's in the studio right now. It will be released as soon as possible. And it's Om Amun Ra Ptah, the one divine self manifesting as the witnessing consciousness, mind, and the physical universe. So you could get in a comfortable seated position. It's kind of like a meditation. Take a few deep breaths together. Inhale, allowing the abdominal area to expand. Then up through the chest, up to the crown. And exhale, allowing the abdominal area to contract. So it's like it's almost touching the spine. Another deep inhalation. And exhale. And you can just call in response. Om Amun Ra Ptah. 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 Gotcha. I have started the tradition or habit of for an hour each day at sunset, maybe 10 minutes during the beginning of the day, this wonderful app called Alden Glow. Aspen Glow? Wait, what is it? Alpenglow. Yeah. And it has, let me try to show you what it looks like. It's this one here. It has the times for the sunrise and sunset. And then it has, what I really like about it, it has what's called the golden hour, which is, it's like an hour. It's 40 minutes before sunset and 20 minutes after sunset. And then another 15 minutes for the blue hour. And it's just a really beautiful time for spiritual work, for meditation and prayer. And then for sunrise, it's 40 minutes before sunrise, and then 20 minutes after sunrise, and then another 15 minutes before the whole thing. So it's the blue hour and the golden hour. Ucha, welcome. Do it for tuning in. All right, so let's have some readings from Say by Ma's works. There was quite a bit of information here. I'm not going to even attempt to cover it all in one session. Let's see, page 27 of the Ptah and Hershafi. Page 27. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is an edition of Cosmic Adorations for the Divine Holy Day for Ptah and Hershafi. See here, page 27. Where we look up wisdom teachings on the deities and then offer some music. Right. So the temple for Ptah is located in Memphis, or Ptah. And I don't know. Oh, okay. So there's a few trinities. There's the Trinity of Amun Ra Ptah. We have the temple of Amun at Heliopolis, and then Ptah at Ptah, and then Waset is Thebes for, I guess, Ra. I'm not sure about that. No, Ra is Anu, Heliopolis, and Amun is Waset at Thebes. I know Amun at Aswan, but that's Amun Ra. Okay. And then the other trinity for Saraset Haru has Anu, Abydos, Philae, Edfu, Dendeta, and Ombos. I have not been to Ombos yet. So that's where the temple of Ptah is located, in Memphis. Page 76, page 82. Okay. So the offering that was just offered, the chant that was just offered, Amun Ra Ptah, the transcendental self and sacred trinity. This trinity is the trinity of Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar, the everything, is Amun Ra Ptah, the three in one. He whose name is hidden is Amun. Ra belonged to him as his face, and the body is Ptah. Their cities are established on earth forever as Waset, Anu, and Hekka Ptah. These gods arise from the nameless supreme being known as Nebuchadnezzar, or Neteru. Therefore, this trinity is in reality describing one divinity which expresses the three aspects. Thus, in the Kemetic system of gods and goddesses, we have Amit, Rai, Sekhmet as the feminine expressions of Amun Ra Ptah. All right. Page 82. Oops, not that. That's not, Ptah, page 83, excuse me. Ptah is the third member of the great ancient Egyptian trinity. He figures prominently in the Ptah and Hershafi in chapter 11 of Opening the Mouth, which we're going to go over next. The name of Ptah is written in hieroglyphic as a human form supporting heaven and earth. The name Ptah is composed of the following parts: Pt, heaven, Ta, earth, and then as in He, support. Ptah is known as the overlord of the two lands, referring to Lower Kemet and Upper Kemet. Also material existence, manifest, and spiritual unmanifest. Hetep, supreme peace, is also the name of Ptah, if written backwards. He is also known as Hetepi. Thus, Ptah, Neter, God, Heru, is the support of heaven and earth and the supreme abode of peace, which transcends the realm of time and space and the pairs of opposites. In this aspect, Ptah is associated with Shu, the god of air and breath, who is therefore the sustainer of heaven and earth, or the soul and the body. Okay. Ptah conceived in his heart, reasoning consciousness, all that would exist, and at his utterance the word, will, power to make manifest, created Nun, the primeval waters, unformed matter energy. Thank you for being here and for the likes. Then, not having a place to sit, Ptah causes Nun to emerge from the primeval waters as the primeval heel, so that he may have a place in to sit. Atum then emerges and sits upon Ptah. Then came out of the waters 4 pairs of gods, the Ogdoad. So when reading the myths and qualities of the Neters, these are myths and qualities and forces that go on within yourself and within your life. So whenever we're talking about the Neters, we're also discussing you and your life. Okay, yeah, this could go on forever. All right, let's do one more and then we'll go to the opening of the mouth. States of consciousness, that's important. Okay. I don't think this is the right page. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. This hymn opens with okay. It's talking about a hymn, but not what we just read. This hymn opens with salutations and descriptive appellations of Ra as he rises in the morning. This is not some distant god, but a familiar presence. No, that's not the part. Okay. I don't need to read all that. This signifies that Ra is not the sun itself. This is a very important point to understand. Ancient Kemetic mythology holds that there are 3 realms of existence. These are the physical plane, Ta, the astral plane, the Duat, and heaven, Pet. Just as the universe has 3 realms, the human being has 3 bodies. These are the physical body, the astral body, and the causal body. The physical realm is the place where human beings experience the physical body and the sense organs. The astral realm is where the mind and subtle senses operate, and the causal body is the deep unconscious level of the mind, where impressions related to one's past experiences, desires for the future are shared. And then okay, yeah, that's not really the one I was looking for, but okay, just gonna move on. There's so much information here. We can't have time to cover it all. I was looking for the part that showed how those 3 states apply to the waking state, the dream state, and the subconscious state. So I'm sure it'll come up later. Let's go to the opening of the mouth. Ceremony, page 210. Because we're going to come back to that again. This is chapter 11, the words for opening the mouth. So I'm going to read the English, and then later on we'll have the in Medunetter. These words will open up the mouth. And remember, the mouth is symbolized by the, I don't know what you call this, the Arit symbol, and it represents the consciousness. So this is a way to open the consciousness of the initiate. These words will open up the mouth of Asar. And when we say Asar, there's a space for your name. So, like I would say Asar Arit. These words will open up the mouth of Asar and say your name. O Ptah, open my mouth. Loosen the heavy weights of the bandages placed on my mouth by the god of my town. Come, Jehuti, filled and equipped with words of power, to loosen these double bandages of Set, which are egoism, which are shielding my mouth, blocking my consciousness. Atum repulses the obstruction of these fetters. My mouth is opening now. As for Shu, he opened the mouth of the gods and goddesses with the iron harpoon of heaven. I am Sekhmet. I rest upon the pedestal in the great wind, the magnanimous sky I am. I am the great Sa, the innermost of souls in Anu. As for Hekau, all words spoken against me, the company of gods and goddesses will stand up for me against those. And then from the pyramid text, opening of the mouth and eyes. O initiate, I have come in search of you, for I am Heru. I have struck your mouth. For you, I am your beloved son. I have split open your mouth. For you, I have split open your eyes. For you, with the kapesh of the eye of Heru, kapesh, I have split open your mouth for you. I have split open your eyes for you. With the adze of upawuat, with the adze of iron. All right, so briefly, this shapesh is also a scimitar, or a knife, and it's what they use to cut the bandages off of your consciousness. And it also represents the constellation known as the Big Dipper, one of the never-setting stars. Let's see, is this on this page? I'll just have to have a special session for that. Okay. And I'm going to go back to 198 for protection, and then we'll go to some music. Always could use more protection, right? So reading from the Ptah Heru, these are also known as spells. And so this is, showering us with these blessings or experiencing the wisdom of these and protection of these spells. No. Right. Okay. So here we have an image of, this is the declaration of Nebuchadnezzar, goddess Nebuchadnezzar. Uja, do it for tuning in. Uja. These words are spoken to Asar, and then you put in your name. This is a prayer for protection. These words are spoken to Asar Makaru by goddess Nebuchadnezzar. I have gone around behind my brother Asar. I have come, I am your protection behind you. The two lands make homage to you at your utterance. You are Makaru in them. Makaru means true of speech and spiritually victorious. Your prayers have been heard by Ra. I have strengthened you, making you spiritually victorious over what is to be done with you. Ptah has defeated your enemies for you. I am protecting you with my flame, warding off the one who is in the valley of the tomb where movement is hindered, warding off the one with sand at the feet. I am the one embracing, protecting Asar, you put in your name, who is Makaru, Inhotep, and Ma'at. It's beautiful. All right, now we're going to move on to some more music. Again, if you want to see the teachings or the references, go to tachia.com/Ptah-and-Hershafi, Hershaf. Oh, wow, there's so much information here. But we're going to just deal with the opening of the mouth right now. So let's see, there's one more reading, opening of the mouth. Tree of Life, 179. No, that's not right. Oh, sorry, in Resurrection. Sorry. Wrong book. 179. For those of you just tuning in, this is an edition of Cosmic Adorations for Divine Holy Day, according to the Sirius Kemetic calendar. And we're going over the teachings for the Nectar of the Deccan, Ptah and Hershafi. Right now we're doing Ptah. All right, so we're dealing with the ceremony for the opening of the mouth of the initiate. That's you and myself. And the mouth represents our consciousness. And just read it. Okay, is this the part? Okay. All right, so when we have a reference to the mummy, right, because that's when we're talking about the bandages around the mummy, but we're also talking about our human existence. The body, or Shita, the mummy, is where the soul focuses its dynamic existence in time and space. The ordinary human existence is symbolized by the mummy. The mummy is the condition of spiritual dormancy, which is embalmed by Anpu in preparation for the practice of the mysteries. This preparation involves the development of mental discipline and the faculty of discernment between the real and unreal, virtuous and vicious, spiritual and mortal, wisdom and ignorance, etc. This teaching is symbolized by the mummified or bandaged figure of Asar, the soul. The bandages represent the fetters which bind the soul. The most important bandage is the Sayu Set, the fetters of Set. These were the bandages placed over the mouth of the mummy. These fetters are most important to the Asar, initiate, or the Asar, because this mouth symbolizes the memory or awareness level of consciousness of the initiate. If the mouth is bound, there is no memory of the true self. This means that the human being has no awareness of the deeper spiritual reality, only the reality of mortal existence. All right, so now let's go to the passage from the opening of the bandages. Like I said, I have way too much information here. We're going to just deal with opening of the mouth and then the Jed pillar. Okay, so what I do now is I'm going to read the translation, and then I'll show you the hieroglyphs. Let's see, which book is this? Volume 1. Yeah, Purdah Volume 1. So we have the book by Dr. Wanda Ashby, Purdah Volume 1. And we already read the English, and this is the Medunetter. Page 151, 153. There's Picture of how it appears, and then papyrus, and then the work by Say by Ma with the translations and literal translation. All right, so this is the chapter of the ancient Kemetic Book of Enlightenment. It is for opening the mouth of the Asar, who is in this case described by the name Ani. Opening the mouth means opening the mind to unobstructed higher consciousness. These are the words to be said that accomplish the desired opening process of higher consciousness. My mouth is opened by the god Ptah. He has untied the wrappings that were over my mouth, dually, as I was wrapped as a mummy, to free my lower conscious and my higher consciousness from the wrappings that were blocking my mouth, shutting me into the miserable, limited, and mortal existence. These wrappings were placed over my mouth by the god of my town, of my local time and space residence, who refers me to time and space and physical human existence. But now comes in Lord Jehuti, filled and equipped with words of power that have the capacity to remove obstacles and transform the mind. And he's loaded with these powers to assist the worthy spiritual aspirant to overcome that which binds the mouth doubly, the fetters of Set. However, there is a force that repulses that blocking, that obstruction from the fetters of Set. So what I do now is I have the lyrics here, and I'm just going to sing them. And it's really just improvised. Dua Hatep. Oh, it's is that Nitra? Yes. Thank you for being here. Okay. Ra, and a song says, I need to Jemetu. Ryan Ptah, Naus in Aru, Ryan Eternuda, Ayar Jehuti Aperen Heka, Uhau Nutsen, it's a test Rakef Raun Ra in a sausage. I need to meet you. Ryan Ptah. Wow, now Senaru. Ryan Eternuta. I have Jehuti Appear in the cow, it's a test I rocket to Ryan Ptah. Ryan Ptah. Ryan Ptah. more time. Run, run in a sausage. I need you there too. Ryan Ptah. Wow, said Ryan the Tanuta. I am to me. I bear him a cow. Oh, in Setesha Sayu Rocket Dua Ptah Hatep. Yes, that was beautiful. Never. This is just an example of how these devotional chants come to me. I do all this research to get in the vibration of the netter, and then I just pick up my instruments and a melody comes through, and then I go back later and go into the studio. So I've got a backlog of material actually, like way more material than there's hours in the day. So that was very nefer. And then also on that page, there is another hekau. I got to edit this a little bit though, because words are not all on the same page. Oh, this isn't the okay, I can't edit it. Okay, maybe if I make it smaller. Oh wait, I know where to go. I can go to the talking to myself. Okay, yeah, here they're all on one page. All right, so this was on that same page. What time do we have? 1:51. And it's just a little bit more about Ptah. What does Ptah provide? And it's just a breakdown of a panel from the inscription. Where's this from? I think this is from the same reference. Chapter 11. I don't even know. I'd have to do some more research on that. It says lesson 17. I don't know if that's chapter 17. But anyway, I'm just going to offer those. My other instrument. Sorry for my view. Okay. I also like to offer this. What book is that? Jua. This is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, hieroglyph translations, using the trilineal method by Seba Ma, Dr. Mwada Ashby. This is volume 1, where he takes different passages, different subjects of the Ptah and Heru, and then translates the passages. So thank you for asking. And you can get his books. Well, his website is at egyptianyoga.com. So this is like a different Kemetic school. Like the calendar that we're following is from the Sirius culture from the Dogon. I had a band called Dogon Sirius back in the day. And then the wisdom teachings, the first portion, I just go online and find information. And this portion is always from Dr. Mwada Ashby's books. And I had so much information for this presentation. I haven't even gotten to the second deity. So this harp was purchased in Edfu outside the Temple of Heru. Do it for tuning in. Thank you so much, Uja Senti. So you may have heard these words before. In the previous chant, there was Sen, S-E-N, which is spiritual brother, and then Senti is spiritual sister. Oh, let me read the translation first. Looks like more. Okay. Yeah, I think I better read it straight from the book. That doesn't look. Just double check that. Sometimes when you type things in the computer, it like retypes it after you've left. And you go back and look at it, like, what? I didn't type that. Okay. Diank was hept. Yeah, they changed hept to heat. There's no heat in Medinetter. Okay, and then the other one. Okay. All right. Well, if there's any typos, I'll have to correct them later. Let me read the translation. This is from page 151 of Volume 1, Egyptian Yoga, Egyptian Book of the Dead, Sebama. So this is a translation. Ptah, south of his will. Not wall, not will. See, did it again. Ptah, south of his wall, he gives life and power. I give life, spiritual stability, and all power, all health and expansion of heart, joy. To the king, Kepakara, a title of Senuset I, the coming into being of the essence of Ra. He gives life, stability, and power like Ra, the good god, the Pharaoh. Senusert, brother of goddess Usert, gives life and powers. Divine embrace, beloved, gives life, stability, and power and health all the days, like Ra. So when they said like Senusert, or prayers for the king, or the royal personality, or Asar, those are prayers for you and me, for us. That's why I'm doing these works. Blessings, wisdom, healing, music, awareness, and also cleansing RU. When I make these offerings, when we make offerings, it cleanses our RU. What's RU? RU is similar to karma, only it's from our past life, and also our past thoughts, our past emotions, our words, anything, not just our actions, our words, our thoughts, our emotions, our writings. In this lifetime, we have the opportunity to cleanse our RU, or purify it, so that we don't have to come back. If our heart is heavy with regret or sadness or disbelief or doubt or anger or fetters of set, then we have to reincarnate. So you want to live in such a way that you do not have to reincarnate. You want to live in such a way that your RU is cleansed. And so it took me a long time to realize the reason that I'm doing this type of work is, to help cleanse my RU. And I had to get away from the Setian side, which was, how to make money, how to get more likes and follows. So I had to really let go of that. So we're working on it. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to, this is another improv, just going to be chanting to this harp. Ptah resu anabin, Diev angwas, Diang jed wasne. Sneb neba wadabne. Inesubiti kepakara. The young Jed was me wrong. Jed was never. Jed was Zenu said. Jed was Diak was Jed was Abdi Jed was Merdiak Jed was a Neb Miran. Ptah and Hershafi Dievang was Dienang the Jed was Neb Snap Neb Awat Neb in Nasubiti Kaperkara the young Jed was Marira Jed was Netter Nefer Jed was Sanu said Jed was Diak was Jed was Abdi Jed was Merdian Jed was Seneb Nebrami Jed was Nefer Hatep. Oh, that was Nefer. That was lovely. I really enjoyed that. Okay. Let's see. I believe that is, yes, okay. So now we're going to have one more chant for Ptah, and then the rest will be for Hershafi. And speaking of, in this chant, I don't know if you noticed the Jed. Jed was, what is a Jed? Jed is the Jed pillar. One of these days, I'll be able to switch the images on the TikTok and Instagram. I forgot to do it today on YouTube, so I apologize for that. But just direct you to the webpage, and you can get all the information there. Plus, the replay will be there for those of you who tuned in after we began. So what is the Jed pillar? I want to go to the Jed pillar. And that... Jed pillar, page 15, Tree of Life. Okay. Page 15, Tree of Life. 15. Right. I guess I can try it on here now. Tree of Life. Guess I really want the screen, not that. Okay. Share. Oh, good. Okay. Share screen. Oops. Sorry. Share screen. There we go. Okay. Here we go. This is what we want. Tree of Life. All right. So here's some examples of the Tree of Life. Of the jed pillar from the Tree of Life. Oh, thank you for the likes. The jed pillar is associated with the ancient Kemetic god Asar as well as Ptah. It is part of a profound mystical teaching that encompasses the mystical life force energy that engenders the universe. Oh, I know. There's jed pillar behind me. That's why I have this the one next to the Ankh. We have the Ankh, the jed, and the was behind me. You can't see it all. Let's see. Ankh, jed, was. Okay, perfect. There's the jed there and the microphone. And if I move this way, you can see the jed. Okay. Well, I can't read it if I do that. Okay. Encompasses mystical life force energy that engenders the universe. It is the driving force that sustains all life and impels human beings to action. In the Asarian resurrection myth, it is written that when Asar was killed by his brother Set, his body was thrown into the Nile. It's actually called the Happy. Nile is an Arabic word. Or if you are from the Aramukan nation, that would be the Mississippi River. And it came ashore on the banks of Syria. There it grew into a tree with such a wonderful fragrant aroma that the king of Syria had it cut into a pillar for his palace. The thing about it, I'm sidetracking here. The myths of Kemet, there's proof that the events that happened in Kemet actually happened on America, also known as Tameri or Chi Amaru first, and that Kemet is a memorial to this culture. So every now and then I might insert areas to where we are currently, because I'm picking up my studies of the Olmec correlations to Kemet. So that's why I said Mississippi. Cut into a pillar for his palace. Back to the teachings. The pillar of Asar Ptah, made from an acacia tree, is a mystical reference to the human vertebrae and the serpent power of life, or life force energy, which exists in the subtle spine of every human being. It refers to the four highest states of mystical, spiritual, psycho-spiritual consciousness in a human being, with the uppermost tier symbolizing ultimate spiritual enlightenment, wherein one discovers one's highest identity as one with the Supreme Being, the mystical spiritual movement. Also, the Jed refers to the spiritual realm of the Duat, the astral plane, wherein Asar, symbolizing the spiritual resurrection, can be discovered. I think this is the one. Okay, just one more paragraph. The Duat, or ancient Kemetic concept of the netherworld, is a special place of existence. This is the abode of Asar Ptah, as well as the ultimate destination of those who become spiritually enlightened. It is the realm of supreme peace. It is known as the Seket Aru, like Amaru. Gotta write that down. Seket Aru, like Amaru. Or in other times, Amen Jed. Amen Jed is a reference which unites the symbolism of the ancient Kemetic deities of Sar and Ptah with the deity Amun, thus relating these three deities of ancient Kemet into a singular essence. Because remember, the Ptah tradition is the Memphis tradition. Memphite tradition. into a singular essence and dispelling this notion of polytheism. This underlying non-dualist monotheism is an important tantric theme. The jet symbolizes the awakened human soul that is well established or steadfast or stable in the knowledge of the self, that is enlightened. The ancient Kemetic word jedu refers to the abode of Asar within the duat, steadfastness or stability, as well as to the pillar of Asar. In mystical terms, refers to being firmly established in the netherworld. The idea is to become steadfast and upright as a tree, vertical, as opposed to unstable and falling over horizontally as the dead, in order to reach up to unite the earth and the sky, thus destroying in the form of transcending duality. Jedu thus means having the knowledge of what is below and above and transcending both, thereby attaining the goal of mysticism, to transcend duality and become one with all. This concept of steadfastness as the essence of a human being is referred to in the following line from the Egyptian Pert and Meru, Ra'u, chapter 1. Oh, perfect. I was wondering where I was going to find the translation for the next Hekau, and here it is. All right, so here's the, the last chant for Ptah. It's for the Jed pillar. And I'm going to use my sistrum, which also symbolizes the upper levels of consciousness, like in the Jed pillar. It has 3 instead of 4, but it still represents Jed. And so much I wanted to share, but this is good for now. So here's the translation. I am Jedi, steadfast, child of Jedi, steadfast, conceived and born in the region of Jedu, steadfastness. Look, Jedi, say Jedi, I'm out in Jedu, Messiah Jedu, look, Jedi, say Jedi, I'm out in Jedu, Messiah Jedu, look, Jedi, say Jedi, out I'm in Jedu, Messiah Jedu, look, Jedi, say Jedi, I'm out in Jedu, Messiah Jedu. That's it. All right, before we move on to Hershafi, I just wanted to add something experience I had the other day. I have not made a video about it yet. But this is the steadfastness is what's reminding me of this. So I was asking my spirit guides, how can I tell the difference between my intuition, higher self, ancestral, celestial voice, or my egoism, my Setian voice, because it's thrown me off a few times recently, and I'm fine-tuning my discernment. And because I have a lot of concerns about my material well-being, sustenance, like money. And it came to me that I actually am residing in the 5th dimension, higher dimension, and I only come into 3rd dimension to work, to offer the music and sounds and natural remedies for health and healing. And so what Ma taught us that my life is sustained and provided for by the source. And my spirit guide has told me, I'm not here to make money. Money is energy, which cannot be made, created, or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So I've been reworking my mind about this. So the steadfastness is, when I come into the 3rd dimension, we have to maintain our steadfastness of our connection to our higher self. because it's easy, like you said, to fall down, the human condition, to get knocked over, so that is what I'm getting from this. And that Ptah has the sapesh or the kapesh to open the bandages, to remove the bandages from my mouth and from my eyes. So that is my prayer, my intention for this this session, medicine that I'm getting for myself. Because these are remedies, the book Brother Maru, they're remedies and spells. And so it helps me when I put it to music. Like when I go back through the videos, I go through the songs again. And then next time I make my offerings, I offer these songs, and eventually I'll record them. Dua! Thank you very much. I will be making a video about it. There's a little bit more to it. It's so profound. I couldn't even believe it when I wrote it down. And then when I read it to my friend, we're both like, whoa. But yes, that's basically it, that we just come here to work. And then when we're done with our work, we go back home. And that could be like today, like any moment, like right now I'm here working in the third dimension. I've got microphones, I've got wires, I've got a computer, I have glasses. And then when this is done, I'm going to shut all this down and go, do meditation or whatever. But our work in the world is our 3D experience, and we do not need to be attached to it. It's just our work, what we're here to do. And our life is sustained and provided for by the self. And if we can trust and believe that, then it will be. So thank you. Okay, so that is the section for Ptah. Now we're going to briefly cover Hershafi, also known as Herishef. And there's a lot more information on this page for Ptah. I'm just going to build on it, like this is going to become like a, depository. Like last year, I did the Egyptian holy days, and, there's like 3 a week sometimes. And I was trying to do the moons too. And so this is not going to work for me. And plus there's like 3 or 4 different versions of the Egyptian holy days. So that's when, my spirit guide and the goddess of Basmati temple came and said, look, just follow the serious 13-month sidereal calendar, and you're already doing the solar sidereal calendar. So those two balance each other out. And then a few weeks ago, one of the sentees from here, she says, why don't you do the divine holy days? And then that's perfect, because that way we'll circle through all the Neteru. And with the cosmic holy day for the sacred hoop, when the celestial bodies are near Sirius, or the Gemini, which is Jehuti, which is the Olmec basketball court. Now I can freely talk about my Olmec studies. Then we'll focus on Aset, Asar, and Jehuti, and then whatever is passing through. So the new system, the new calendar is just so divine for me. I'm just really grateful for it right now. I have to get it typed up and put it at the website. So the music teachings are at tachia.com, and then the temple sound healing teachings are at lightbeingwellness.com, and then the temple webpage is at lightbeingwellness.com. Maybe I'll put that here too. I have no idea how the sound is coming through on this YouTube. We are still trying to figure it out. It might be that I have to get a new computer. Okay. All right. So let's go back to this page. All right. So here we are moving into the section for Hershafi. And this shouldn't take too much longer. Okay. I really did enjoy those songs, though. That was beautiful. Okay. All right. So Hershafi. Let's take back to this page. Uh-oh. How do you just... They don't make it easy. Uh-oh, low battery. Okay, I'm going to have to turn off the microphone. No, not there. Wait. Okay. All right, TikTok. I just got the notice that my phone is getting ready to die, so I have to make a change here. So we have a pause for the cause. It's kind of tricky when they have two netters for 1 week. So I guess this is just how it is. I should have already had this set up. I knew it was possible. This is long enough. Ay. Only way to find out. Okay, just give me a minute, please. I have to rearrange the power supplies. I don't think this is long enough. It might be just good job. Might be just long enough. All right, it's just long enough. Hopefully I'll stay up for just a few minutes. I can feel the wind out there. This is not. Come on, little thing. Okay, good. Okay. All right. All right. Hershafi. Hershaf or Hershafi? Hershafi. Here's some descriptions for Hershaf. He who is over strength, he who is on his land, and he who is on his lake, king of the two lands and ruler of the river banks. So this was the first, I lived there near, what happened to the Sidereal website? What Sidereal website? Oh, we believe he was living in Russia and just couldn't keep up the website. Now I use astroapp.com. But in order to get the 13-month, you have to pay a subscription. So I still do readings and charts, and I still do the cosmic chimes and chanting for certain celestial events. Yep. That's the one that I use, Astro app. Thank you for tuning in. If you just tuned in, oh, does it say it's charging? Yeah. If you just tuned in, we are at the last segment of our program today of Cosmic Adorations, Divine Holy Day, Ptah and Hershafi, and we're getting to the Hershafi portion of the program. Okay, and then here's, I was saying, living near Lake Michigan, I've often wondered who is the deity of the lake, because we know the ocean and the rivers from other, I call it a Kemetic tradition, the Yoruba tradition from Nigeria. I'm familiar with Yemaya for the ocean and Ocean for the river. And I wasn't familiar with the lake. So I was happy to find out about Hershafi or Hershafi. Okay. Some of the gods, even though, this is from touregypt.net, even though they were very prominent in the ancient times, are hardly admitted today. One such deity is Hershafi, the ram-headed creator god of fertility and power. Once an important god with his own cult centers and throngs of followers, Hershafi is slightly forgotten today. His head is that of a ram with the iconic splendid headdress, which contains the elements of two most prominent gods of Kemet, Ra and Asar. These elements are the Ataf, crown of Asar, and the sun disk of Ra. The adoption of these elements into the image of Hershafi often led to the connection of these three deities, which Hershafi was often compared to as Ra or Asar. And again, if you want to have access to the reading, it's at tachia.com/Ptah and Ptah and Hershafi. Okay, it's just a few more minutes. There we go. The ram-headed deity Hershafi was predominantly, if not exclusively, worshipped at his cult center in Henensuten, also known as Het-hen-pan-su, which later became known in Roman sources as Heracleopolis Magna. This city was the capital of the 20th nome in ancient Egypt and was a famous religious and cultural center throughout much of Egypt's history. The latter name is the most common form of Hershafi. He was considered the god who was born from the primordial waters. This fact was further attested in the construction of his great temple at Henensuten, which sadly does not exist today. It was situated on the island surrounded by canals and waters. It was probably destroyed when they dammed the river Happy. There, Hershafi truly was on his lake. When all things are considered, we can realize that Hershafi was most likely a regional deity. In other words, a god that was worshipped solely at Heracleopolis Magna. Moreover, with that being said, it is likely that Hershafi was in fact just a different aspect of the much more important and famed god Khnum, with whom he shares a lot of similarities. It could be that Hershafi was a regional version of Khnum that was exclusive for Henensuten, aka Heracleopolis Magna. This god is now known, unfortunately, as a cartoon figure on games like video games, whatever, along with Black Adam and Isis. There's a video game for Hershafi. And another source, it says that Hershafi is Amun, and we will be covering Amun next week. I did not find any references to Hershafi in the works of Sebama, only online references. And there were several. I knew we would be going over, so it didn't have a lot there. So I'm just going to close with Om Amun Ra Ptah. And like I said before, that Hekau is already posted on YouTube. It has 23,000 views. It was recorded with before I knew about microphones for your cell phone, with my headset mic, and you can hear the headset mic bumping up against my hair and lots of feedback. So I went into the studio and recorded another version. However, the vibrations on that first version are superb. So we're going to release that one as well. Anyway, we're going to close out with Om Amun Ra Ptah. And you can do call and response. Om Amun Ra Ptah. 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 All right. Never. Well, that chant took me to the Temple of Amun and then Aswan. I went right there. I have a funny story to share before we go. It was the first time I went. I went for the holy day in October when they celebrate the fall equinox. They have it in October 22nd, not September 22nd, October 22nd. Equinox is not March 22nd, it's February 22nd. So I was there thinking it would be a festival. It's really just, I don't know how many thousands of people mob the temple, and we all get into the front door to see the moment when the sunrise sends some light through the door and it illuminates the statues of Ramses, Amun Ra, and Ptah, but only Amun Ra and Ptah are lit up. And so I'm there in white, and I have on I forgot what the headdress with beads, and I have the beads in front instead of in back because it's like a mask, right? And I have my sis drum, and I'm in there chanting Om Amun Ra Ptah, and I have my drum, and usually they throw you out when you're doing that. And that day the guards were like, I was walking through chanting at the top of my lungs, Om Amun Ra Ptah, with my this drum and my drum. And and it was packed. It's like New Year's Eve in America, at town square. In the sacred temple, and there's all these people. And every now and then, Nubians would stop and take pictures with me and my travel companion, my friend, my Senti, because we were just like. And then towards the end, there was a Karen there. A Karen was there in Kemet with us in 2018. Go back to where you came from. You don't belong here. You're an American. You're just an American. She was like shouting and yelling at us, and she was calling us names. And my friend, we both bought systems, right? And my friend was like, she went off on her, basically. I mean, what else can you do, And so they were like, da, da, da. And I was shaking my sister in her face. I was chanting louder, oh, Mama Rapata. And then she grabbed my friend's sistrum and bent it. And luckily we were able to bend it back because we got it from Abydos. And Karen was following us around the whole time, telling us to go home. We're American. We're not African. We're not Black. We're American. And people were like cheering us on and taking pictures with us, and that made her even more angry. I have an audio recording of it. Well, I don't know if that's the appropriate way to end this program, but anyway, when I was chanting, it took me back to when I was chanting Om Amun Ra Ptah at the temple. Okay. Oh, my son brothers here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm about to close out. We've been here for 2 hours. So we're going to go. But it was very delightful. I love the new songs that came through. I will be posting clips soon. The plan is to get organized so that I produce the webpage with the notes before the live stream, and then offer a subscription for people who want to have the notes during the live stream. I'm trying to come up with ways. I'm coming up with ways to have a subscription to quote unquote monetize my time and energy. Yeah, so it's a weird thing to think about, but that's what I'm getting ready to do. So if you have any suggestions or ideas, in the meantime, we are following the calendar, the Sirius Sidereal calendar put out by the earthcenter.org. It is the Dogon Sirius calendar. That was the name of my first band, Dogon Sirius. And so we are now in the month of, we're in the month of Meninit. See all my notes here. And we just had the first decan for Ptah and Hershafi. And I'd be interested to know how you all use your calendar. Oh, you can turn it on. How you use your calendar. I'm going to go into a little bit here. We have 3 days. And then on the 4th day is the day of rest, where you make no offering. Like on these 3 days, you do the ablutions and make offerings. On the day of rest, you make no offerings. And then ancestral holy day, you make ancestral offerings. And then you have 3 more days of just quote unquote regular offerings. And then you have the day 9 is a divine holy day. And then you have a day of rest. So on the days of rest, you're not supposed to make offerings. So this is how I've been using it. On the days of rest, those are the days that I definitely do the Akusaneb, Tefnet Jerusalem Pout yoga posture system, or the Akusaneb is the yoga movement reflection meditation system. So I definitely do that on the days of rest. I sometimes fit it in on the other days, but right now I'm just getting it done for sure on those 2 days. Then on the ancestral holy day, of course, I make ancestral offerings to my ancestor. I'm also very close to Yemaya. So on that day, I make offerings to Yemaya, because Yemaya is Aset, so I just make that connection. And Sirius and Newt, so I just make those offerings. And then on the divine holy day, of course, I'm following the this calendar, so I'm following these networks. And then on the 3rd day and the 8th day, day 3 and day 8, those are the days that I do my housework. I used to practice the there's a question. Oh, someone just got Miss Lily is here. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Lily. Lily always comes on and shows love. Not that no one else does, but she actually taps and gives gifts and donations, things like that. So I was for like 20 years when I was raising my children, we practiced the Hebrew traditions, Black Hebrew Israelite traditions, and we kept the Sabbath. So the day of the Sabbath, we would clean the house top to bottom, and then we'd have the day of rest. So what I do on the days 3 and day 8, those are the days that I clean my house. And then for the divine holy day, ancestral holy day, and the day of rest, my house is, good to go. So, and then on the other days, the other 2 days, I used to try to follow a calendar, but I just go as needed. Like I have like my legal case, and I make offerings to Ma'at. If I'm working on temple work, then that would be Ma'ati, Ma'asmataji. Or if I'm doing music, then that would be Marit. So it depends on, what I have going on. I have my basic practice in the morning with, chants, meditation, breathing, intentions, affirmations. And then I have my devotional practice, which is as needed. And then I follow the calendars. So that's how I've been doing it. And it's working very well. And then, of course, we also have the, it's working better for me than the other calendars. I used to, I even changed the colors. I used to dress by the color of the day. Like red was Mars, then orange. No, sorry, I'm getting it mixed up. Blue was Monday for the moon, red was Tuesday for Mars day, yellow Wednesday for Mercury day, purple for Thursday, Jupiter day. Friday was green or pink for Venus day. Saturday was black for Saturn day, and Sunday was orange for Sunday. But which day are we? Oh, so today is the divine holy day for Ptah and Hershafi. And you'll be able to watch the replay on on Instagram and YouTube, because we're about to wrap it up. So I used to do that with colors of the day for how I would dress and what foods I would eat. And then I was like, but it doesn't make any sense. Like the planets aren't in any particular order. The colors aren't in any order, and I want order. I'm tired of following this. I guess I just got tired of following the Western ways of doing things. That's basically what it is. I got tired of the 7-day calendar. I got tired of meetings that are every Friday. I got tired of trying to do live streams every Wednesday. I got tired of doing things every Tuesday, because then my life isn't like that. So that's when I started following the 10-day calendar, because then it's a whole different rotation. It's not every Thursday or whatever. Like it's more like the Mayan calendar. They have their 13 months and their 260 days, and they, it's like a cogwheel. They like move like this. And so now my calendar moves like that too. And so recently I stopped doing the colors by the 7-day week, and I added them to the 10-day week, because there's chakras above our head and there's chakras below our feet. So what is it now? So I have how did I do it? 1, 2, 3. I have days 1 and 2 are. Well, how did I do it? I said I'm pretty good up here. It's the grounding I have problems with. So day 1 is the upper chakras. So you can see my hands. And then day 2 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How did I do it? I don't know how I did it now. 7, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Then day 2 is the root chakra. Day 3 is the orange, the creativity chakra. Day 4 is the solar plexus, the yellow chakra. Day 5 is the heart. That's the ancestral day. That's the green chakra. Day 6 is the throat chakra, turquoise. Day 7 is the first eye, which is blue chakra. And then the crown is day 7, the purple chakra. And then I have these 2 extra grounding days because I need more grounding. So those colors is like free or gray or whatever. So that's how I've organized my life to those calendars. And then upcoming events. Let me just show you one more time this drawing. And I'm finally about to make time to finish the book. I have the book written out. I have to put the charts together. You can see them. So this is a diagram that came to me from my spirit guides, Asmatashi. And it represents us here at the center at our position on the galactic arm. And then to one side, I know it's backwards looking, so I'm confused. But to one side, we have pointing towards a sacred hoop, which is the constellations comprising of Gemini, Canis Major, and Orion, or Jehuti, or the basketball court. The great dogs, Anpu, Anpu and Sirius, Aset, Potolo, and Orion, Asar. So when planets or stars move into the sacred hoop, then I come on and do Cosmic Adoration Sacred Hoop. And then when they're in the sign of Ophiuchus, that's Imhotep, then we do a little talk show about wellness topics or political topics, like this whole Amaruka, Chi Amaru. And then what did we find out today? Seket Aru. On my research, about the Kemetic traditions and the Kemetic traditions here in Amaruka. And then here in the center part, we have the spiral dance medicine wheel, which will be coming up for the solstice. And also the Good Rising TV. When the sun moves into a different constellation, we have a presentation here. So coming up in a few days, we have the Cosmic Adorations Sacred Hoop. We have Spiral Dance Medicine for the summer solstice. And we have Good Rising TV, all happening within a few days. So it's going to be busy here. So that takes us to the dates. So the next Imhotep transit is June 30th. They call that a blue full moon, so I have a lot to talk about that. And I'm not really following the moons anymore. If I'm doing something and it happens during the moon, great. But I'm no longer following the moon. I'm no longer convinced that. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the music. I'm also going to be putting out some songbooks. I don't know when this is actually going to happen. I have a new list strategy that's working. So yeah. Okay, and then the next Good Rising TV, like I said, is June 21st. The sun moves into Sidereal Gemini at 8:40 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be Cosmic Chimes and Chanting and just any questions that come up. And then the next Sacred Hoop, we have several Sacred Hoop coming up. We have June 18th when the new moon is inside the Sacred Hoop. So that'll be for Sesheta. And then we have June 21st, of course, when the sun moves into the Sacred Hoop. So that will be Dua Ra. Then June 22nd, Juno moves into the Sacred Hoop. And then on the 26th, Mercury moves into the Sacred Hoop. So I have to check with the goddess to see if we're just going to have one session or 4 mini sessions, since we already have these other 2 sessions. But I will check in and we'll let you know very soon. All right. So that's what I have for you today. Looks like there's a few more questions here. The NASA reality. Yes. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly why I have stopped following the moon, because I'm not convinced this is a real moon. I believe it could be a satellite. It could be a communications device. I'm not saying there was never a real moon. I'm just not convinced. They're doing so many things to the atmosphere with the chemtrails. I just don't get the same feeling from the moon when I look at it like I did like 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. It's just not the same. The sun doesn't look the same either. But I'm still honoring it. But I'm not coming online with daily offerings to the sun. I know there's people that go live every day. I've been thinking about how I could possibly do that. And I don't see how I could. So. And then there's the whole thing about Nibiru. When I do the presentation for Good Rising TV, I do have a chime for Nibiru. So I will be using that too. All righty then. Well, it's been a great 2 hours. Oh, there's a shadow shop. And I hope you've enjoyed this presentation as much as I have. Some of you are still viewing on YouTube, which is amazing. So please let me know in the comments. Does it sound like a robot? Or do you just have the volume turned down and you're listening on one of the other platforms? Yeah, I'm going to keep troubleshooting, and hopefully I do not have to get a new computer. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Dua Hatep, OCO. That's how you say thank you in Chalagi, Cherokee. And yes, these broadcasts will be drawing more on the spiritual traditions of Amaruka, also known as Tamari, or Chi Amaru. Northern Amarukan is known as Turtle Island. So the focus of these programs and my work from here on, well, actually, when I was in Kemet in 2020, I was instructed by my guides that it's time to take the research back to finding the connection between Kemet and Olmec, or as I learned, Amaruka. I'm going to be picking up my research again. I took out these 10 or 13 years to study Kemetic traditions, and now I'm going back to my graduate research project was the galactic cultural astronomy of the indigenous traditions around the world, emphasis on America and Kemet, and of course, the Dogon in Mali. For those of you just tuning in, I'm so glad you tuned in, but we are about to sign off. I hope you enjoy the replay. Please let me know if the audio is robotic on YouTube. I'm going to post the TikTok replay there just in case. And let's see, let me put the, oh yeah, and there's the link if you want to find the resources and references at tachia.com/Ptah-and-Hershafi. This has been a presentation of Cosmic Adorations, Divine Holy Day in honor of Ptah and Hershafi from Osmataji Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds and the Light Being Wellness Center. Thank you for tuning in. Please watch the replay. Hatep. Tua Hatep. Thank you for being here.